All right, nonetheless, we got a lot to talk about with the Panthers tonight, too, and we start with injury updates to the two most important players on the roster. So take this one away.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is hopeful to play, according to Matt Rule, although he's week to week with a shoulder injury. Another week with Christian McCaffrey on the field. Again, he's dealing with that shoulder injury, but if he cannot play against the Lions, then there's hope that maybe he can make it back against Minnesota.
Let's hope. That'd be nice, because then you have Teddy Bridgewater. Injured his right knee late in the fourth quarter. He had an MRI. It shows no structural damage. Thank the good Lord. That's the good news. Now, Rule hopes he can practice on Wednesday, be good to go for the Sunday game against the Lions. But right now, status for Sunday is uncertain. Here's Matt on both guys.
Teddy's he's in typical Teddy spirits. He's looking forward to the week. So, like I said, we'll see what he can do, and especially when it's a lower body thing. I think you guys know me. Like, I'm always just waiting to see how things respond. So we'll see how it responds. As I said last week, it'd be week to week. I haven't heard anything this week saying he couldn't go. So, I'll be hopeful that he can go this week, and if he can't, hopefully he can go next week. But nothing's changed on this end.
Well, you know who's never injured and is always ready to roll? The big cat in the corner right here, loyal BBKL viewers. You know Josh number 2. Josh Klein of the Riot Report, one of the best in the business, no doubt, covering the Panthers. What's up, number 2?
Listen, these bitter recriminations will not stand, okay? The real Josh number 2 couldn't even show up tonight to try to defend his crown as Josh. It's just not true. Obviously, we know who Josh number 1 is and who Josh number 2 is. We've done polls online. We've done Twitter polls. The public demands Josh number 1 is here tonight with you. Josh number 2, who knows where he is? He doesn't even care about you guys.
Wow.
Doesn't want you. He doesn't even want you.
This is going to end up in a fight. I feel like this is...
Now I want to text Josh.
Yes.
You know what that sound was?
What?
That sound was shots being fired.
Indeed it was. Pew, pew. No, Teddy Bridgewater, if he can't go, Josh number whatever you are, do you want P.J. Walker in there? Do you want Will Grier in there? Who's going to take it? Because every week it's a different backup.
Listen, I think that the Carolina Panthers would be making a mistake to not see what they have in Will Grier. Will Grier said during the offseason he felt like he wasn't prepared for his audition last season. The problem is that you're putting him behind this patchwork offensive line, the same situation he went into week 16 and week 17 last year, but you've got to figure out what you have in Will Grier. You used a third-round pick on him last season. You had that 100th pick. You could have upgraded safety. You could have made a lot of things happen, but you went with Will Grier. And if you don't feel comfortable with him out there over P.J. Walker, then that makes the decision right there. That makes it clear where you stand with Will Grier. So let's put him out there. Let's see what he can do and see if he's going to be a part of the Carolina Panthers going forward.
Sounds like you agree,
Preach.
Carla.
Yes, I do. P.J. Walker, for what we've seen, obviously only in 2 games, but he just seems like a frantic cat out there. I'm not sure that he's like... He knows what to do with all the pressure. He seems a little rushed in the pocket, and maybe that's because we're comparing him to Teddy, who is so calm even under pressure. But, yeah, I do think you give Will Grier a shot at least. Okay,
as if that wasn't depressing enough. Here's the defense, Josh. The worst in the NFL on third down. They allow a first down on third down 55% of the time.
Is that good? I'm not a mathematician. I'm not like a math major guy, but yeah, 55%. Weirdly enough, they're actually one of 2 teams in the NFL that are on pace to break the NFL all-time record for worst defense on third down. They just cannot get off the field. And it's been something that Matt Rule, Phil Snow, Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson, every defensive player and coach that you talk to has said, hey, we know we got to get off the field on third down. We have to keep them behind the chains on first and second down, make those third and long tries harder for them, but it doesn't matter. I mean, right here on the screen, you got 3rd and 19 that they're just about to pick up. Yeah. I don't remember what happens here. Oh, no, they do pick it up. Yeah, of course. It would be a weird highlight for you to show during this segment if they didn't pick up that 3rd and 19. But it's not only that, 3rd and 19, 3rd and 2, these are back-breaking situations. You know how many drives the Carolina Panthers stopped the Tampa Bay Bucks on yesterday? They stopped them on 2 drives. They forced a fumble on the first one, and they ended the game with the last drive.
Heavens.
Every other drive, the Tampa Bay Bucks scored points on.
So here are the Panthers on third down on defense over the years, and there's a lot of gravity for these numbers over the years. But this year, it is just especially bad, Carla. How do you fix it?
It's so bad, and especially I felt like against the Bucs, we just saw whatever Tom Brady wanted to do, he was able to do. But you can't even pinpoint what position, you know, especially through the air with Tom Brady. You wanted to blame the cornerbacks who were maybe given a little too much cushion with their assignments. It looked like some of them just missed their assignments completely. But it's not just the cornerbacks; it's everybody on the defensive side.
So they're not the worst on the offensive side when it comes to the third quarter, though. They're just the second worst.
Hey, all right, moving on up.
Yeah, they're scoring 2.4 points per game in the third quarter. The Bears were scoring 0.8 points per game. They scored 0 tonight, so that's dropped. That's the worst in the NFL. So, Josh, how do you fix that problem?
This is another one of those things that the Carolina Panthers, they haven't been able to figure out how to fix these things. Matt Rule has even said, they've even gone so far as to have a little halftime in the middle of practice, and then they come back out on the field, but they can't fix it on Sundays. They've gone scoreless, and I wonder if it's a question of halftime adjustments. These defensive coaches are seeing what Joe Brady is doing during the first half. When they come back out on the field, the defense they've made their adjustments, and Joe Brady and the Carolina Panthers are a little bit slow to make their counter adjustments to then to get back out there on the field and score some points, because ultimately these games are getting away from them in the third quarter. They were with the Kansas City Chiefs. They were with the Tampa Bay Bucs at halftime, and by the time the third quarter ended, the game was already over.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Here's Matt Rule.
Just offensively, we just have not gotten in a rhythm in the second, early in the second half. And so fourth quarter, we've usually gotten into a rhythm. And so we've tried different things in the locker room. We've practiced different things. I think there was no doubt about the energy yesterday going out there. But, at the end of the day, they came after us and blitzed us, and, we weren't able to pick it up and get the ball completed. And so to me, that comes down to it just comes down to football and us making sure that the football is right and good enough. And so we just have to continue to search and say, hey, are we doing this as well as we possibly can do it?
All right, so the Panthers are sitting at 3-7 right now 5 straight losses against, though, some pretty good teams, against some pretty good quarterbacks. They've still got much more to come on the schedule, though. So, Josh, are the Panthers exceeding expectations, or is this where we thought they were going to be?
I think ultimately maybe we let our expectations get away from us a little bit. They won 3 straight games after starting the season 0-2. If you just spread out those 3 wins over the last 10 weeks, I think we would all feel okay about where this team is, especially with Christian McCaffrey missing most of the season, the way that the rest of the team, the players have bought in to what Matt Rule is bringing to that locker room and trying to make this culture here in Carolina something that they can build on moving forward. But in terms of where they're at from a football team, this is one of the youngest rosters in the NFL. They used all 7 picks on defense. And even to then, besides those guys, they're starting undrafted free agents on defense. They don't have the roster quite yet to compete at this level. And the fact that they have been in most of these games, yesterday notwithstanding, we don't talk about that, right? That game doesn't even count. Yeah, exactly. Burn the tape. But other than that, they have been in all of these games, and the players are buying in to Matt Rule's system, and this is how you build, right? You don't just throw the whole house up. You put down a foundation, then you get some more bricks, then you get some furniture, and then you put the roof on. You don't just build it all at once. It doesn't all happen in one season. So that is what is going to happen with this Carolina Panthers franchise right now.
And then quickly, I want to talk about the Roaring Riot fan section, because this is absolutely awesome. It's no secret that the Carolina fan base has been less than spectacular, especially against the Bears. This year, there were more Bear fans than Panther fans there. So, Josh, you're part of the Roaring Riot, hence the Riot Report. This is just awesome.
Yeah, incredible what the Panthers and the Roaring Riot we've been able to do to get together. It's a weird situation. The Roaring Riot has always wanted to have their own section at Bank of America Stadium, where you can have the biggest fans, the most diehard fans, the ones that are going to stand up on third down, where you're not going to allow away teams fans in that section. It's going to be kind of that student section type atmosphere. And the Panthers, the Roaring Riot, we've been able to work together during this weird 2020 COVID season where they're, how many seats are going to be in the stadium, where are people going to sit. Everything is socially distanced, it's masked, and it does add something special. You can hear them on third down, and I can tell you from experience, On Sunday, it was 3rd down at the goal line. Tom Brady's lining up to score, and the entire 100 level is sitting on their hands, and the Roaring Riot section is going crazy up there. So I do think that it is going to make a difference going forward.